Hey, and welcome to this video presentation. And firstly, I'd like to congratulate you for making it this far, because chances are you're here because you've seen my Facebook post or an Instagram post and you've actually taken action. So what's going to happen in this training video is I'm going to share with you the family-friendly and sustainable method that mums are using to create a strong, fit, healthy body without having to be on the strict diet or without having to train every single day. So this actually means that you're going to be able to lead a lifestyle that is sustainable for the life of a mother and is also family friendly. So you're not going to have to do any more quick fixes, any more diets that are restrictive or programs that just don't suit your busy lifestyle and your routine. So because of that, and because that you've taken action, I'm going to show you the 3-step system that I've used. And it's not only helped me to transform my life and my body, but I've also helped other mums, hundreds of other mums around Australia to get out of the rut that they're in and to shed these old stories and belief that's been holding them back in terms of being able to get their bodies back and to create this fit, toned physique after having their kids, and being able to get them off the hamster wheel of trying all of these different things, but not actually being able to see results or be able to sustain these results long term and ultimately failing. So you're probably wondering why I'm doing this, and it's because I was once where you are now, and I was really, really desperate to see results, and to see results that I could actually sustain and that suited my lifestyle. And it wasn't from lack of trying. I had been trying all of the different things, all of the quick fixes, okay? So you're probably also wondering if this is actually worth your time watching this training video. So if you're going to sit down and spend the next 30 minutes with me, you could actually be spending that time scrolling through Facebook or looking through your Instagram feed, or you could be spending it watching Netflix, but that's actually not going to improve your life. And you've probably done that before. You're probably spending all of this time, but you're not actually transforming your life. So if you stick around and if you go through and follow the exact steps that I'm going to give you, then you are going to get results. And I've spent years and years creating this process and testing it and developing it and building it into the best system that I can to be able to get mums results. So if you give me 30 minutes of your time and attention, if you go ahead, remove all the distractions, go somewhere quiet, away from the kids, I'm going to show you how you can create a fit, strong body without having to do all of these extreme diets, without flogging yourself in the gym 6 or 7 days and not actually getting anywhere. So we have worked with literally hundreds of mums who have all been able to get stronger, not just physically within their bodies, but also mentally, because, being strong and fit isn't just something that we experience on the outside. Being strong and fit emotionally and also mentally is so, so important as well. And that's what we focus on. And these mums here, they've all used this 3-step system to get stronger, to get fitter after having their kids. And they've also been able to shed all of the old beliefs and stories that have been holding them back and that have been keeping them stuck in that hamster wheel of trying and failing and not being able to succeed. And they've also been able to find this new level of motivation and confidence that, they never knew that they would be able to have. So if you stay to the end of this training, what I'm going to do is I will reward you, and I'm going to make sure that I send you the training notes of the video today. And I'll also send you a recording so that you can always have this as a resource. But more importantly, I'm going to give you the opportunity to schedule a consultation with me so that we can actually go through and tailor this 3-step system to you and to your specific needs and to your specific lifestyle. So what we'll do is we'll dive deep into the problems that you're currently facing right now and look at the bottlenecks that you do have around your training and nutrition and around your mindset, so that you can actually start to break through these barriers, okay? So you can take that first step to creating this fit, strong physique that you've always wanted but you haven't been able to attain. And this is only if you stay to the end. So if I promise you to show you how you can actually do this, create a fit, strong body in a way that is family friendly and sustainable, I want you to promise me that you will take action at the end, okay? So I want you to take this action and, don't do what you normally would do and learn information, but not actually do anything with it. So it's really about not consuming, but actually implementing what you've learned, okay? So I'm going to show you how to get the best results that you possibly can, yeah? So what I want you to do as well is grab a pen, grab up some paper, take some notes, because I will go through this quickly and I want to give you as much value and as much information as I can, but you want to be able to take notes so you can look back, okay? So you're probably wondering, who I am and why you should listen to me. And that is a really good question, because you're probably thinking that I haven't actually walked in your shoes before. And to tell you the truth, I have, okay? So maybe not exactly in your situation or your circumstance, but I've lived through the struggles that you're facing right now. So I've lived in that place of frustration and hating my body and being really uncomfortable in social situations because I didn't like the way that I looked, and I had very, very low confidence and low self-esteem. And for years and years, I suffered from binge eating, and I had this really, really bad relationship with food, and I was a yo-yo dieter. So I had tried all of the quick fixes, and I really was obsessed with how I looked and also with food and exercise. And, you know, I would do things like go to the gym every day and sometimes twice a day. And no matter what I did, like, I never actually felt happy. And, you know, even when I was in good shape and even when I was lean and toned, the way that I had to do that and the way that I got there was through extreme measures, and it just wasn't sustainable. So I always felt miserable and like I just was, you know, going to these extreme measures to actually have to keep that. So, you know, when my kids were younger, I was continually stressed. Like I had no motivation whatsoever, but I was stressed out because I just couldn't, you know, make this change sustainably. And I would spend my weekends on the couch, not wanting to do anything, not wanting to go anywhere. And like I said before, I was that person who had tried every program out there. If there was something new, I would give it a go, hoping that it would be my savior, but nothing would work. Okay, so this is me here. What I actually did to start to be able to see a change in my body is I decided that I would do a bodybuilding competition. Okay, so I did that, and I got really, really lean, and I actually went to America and I won my competition. But I also developed a really, really unhealthy relationship with food, and, you know, thinking that I just had to eat really boring, plain foods like chicken and sweet potato and broccoli and all those things that the fitness industry tell us that we have to eat. And I relied on a strict plan that someone else gave me. Like, I had a coach that just gave me this strict meal plan, and I would never deviate from that plan because I didn't know how to. And then because I felt so restricted, I would then go and binge eat, okay? I also trained every day, and like I said before, sometimes twice a day, and I did, you know, hours of cardio on top of the weight training that I did, and that actually led to me being really burnt out and really fatigued all of the time because I just, you know, had to work so hard to maintain this result that I had, okay? So basically what I did is I eventually found a way, a better and easier way to be able to maintain a strong, fit body. So this is me now able to maintain this strong, fit physique, but without having to do it in a way that's really extreme. So I've actually worked over the years with some amazing coaches who have actually educated me and shown me how I could actually break free from that restrictive attachment that I had with food and that I had with training that made me deprive myself and that made me want to binge all the time. So, you know, I also learned to train in a way that I was able to cut back on the time that I was exercising because I actually learned how to train in a way that would boost my metabolism, how to train in a way that would build muscle rather than actually put more stress on my body. So I also became very passionate about personal development, and I've spent, you know, thousands of dollars and lots of time invested in coaching and courses to be able to change my mindset because, you know, that is something I'm really passionate about. And, you know, until you can actually change your perspective, like no matter how good your body looks or, you know, how good you feel, like if your mindset isn't right and you can't actually change that for the better, then you're not going to be able to sustain this long term either. So, you know, I can now eat delicious food. I now don't have to train as much as I used to, and I've now been able to control my mindset and control my thoughts and thinking, which is so powerful. So because of all of this, my vision is now to help other mothers who are stuck in this old mentality of, you know, you have to diet harder and you have to train more, thinking that, you know, they need someone to save them or to tell them what to do, okay? So what I actually want to do is actually teach women how to do this for themselves so that they can actually have the knowledge and the confidence to know that being strong and fit doesn't have to be grueling and it doesn't have to be miserable, okay? So I also know that, you know, to do this, you also have to raise your standard, okay? So as a bonus of doing this, not only, you know, do you become more healthy and your lifestyle becomes healthier, you're also able to become a better mother, a better friend, a better partner, and better role model as well. So I want to show all women that, you know, having kids doesn't mean that you have to give up your identity as a woman, and you can still have a family, and you can still have all of these things in your life going on. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to put yourself as a priority. You know, you don't have to be down the food chain. You can make time for yourself. And I see it all too often that, you know, that mums that I work with, they're not just not happy within themselves, and they're not happy within their lives. So I want to show mums how they can actually improve that. And like I said before, improve not only your body and your physique, but improve, you know, how you think of yourself as a woman, and your relationships with your partner and with your friends and with your kids. So it's now my vision to be able to set you free. Okay, so like I said, I know what it's like to be in that trap and to feel that restriction, and know what it's like to feel like you're dying inside. And it's really not a good place to be in. It's really, really not. It's a horrible place to be in, to be honest. And, you know, why should this matter to you? It's because I know that it's possible for you to create a fit, strong body. And even though it might not seem like it now, it is possible, okay? And not only a fit, strong body, but a fit, strong mind, okay? Without doing all of the dumb things that we're told to do, that only sees us doing short-term things, that only sees short-term change, but it's never done in a way that's sustainable long-term, okay? So I want you to bust through the beliefs and the stories and the crap that we've been told that doesn't work long-term, for us to be, you know, fit, strong women, and have those fulfilling relationships because you feel so good within yourself, and to live in a way that you are inspired to do the things that you actually want to do, because you're not embarrassed anymore about your body, and you're not uncomfortable anymore with who you are and how you look. Okay, so I want you to achieve those results. I want you to have more energy. I want you to live life to the full, and not be afraid to put yourself out there because of how ashamed you feel about your body. You know, I want you to be intimate with your partner again, all these things that you're not doing, okay? So it's really about overcoming these stories in a way that is sustainable for you long term, because ultimately, being strong and being physically fit is great because you'll have more confidence, you'll have more energy, you know, and you'll be happy with how you look. But you'll also be able to build the mental strength that will help you to tackle your day, you know, as you go about your day and you do the things that you need to do each and every day. And you're not going to get triggered as much, okay, because you have this sense of peace, and you have this sense of contentment within yourself and what you're doing. Okay, so here's a really great example of Kate. You know, she's one of the ladies that's gone through our program, and she's been able to create this really fit, strong body after having children in a way that was sustainable. Okay, so she tried all of these different things, the diets, the pills, the shakes, but she could never see results. So she's been able to really, really create change, not just within her body, but within her mindset. And Beck here is a really great example as well. She's been through our system and our program, and she's actually still in our program, and she's managed to overcome her ability to stop stopping. And, you know, that's what she found. She'd always start something and lose motivation. And now what she actually does is she sees her setbacks as, you know, not just stumbles, but as a way to grow and as a way to learn and keep getting back up again. And, you know, she's mentally and physically fitter. And, you know, what she's learned is she's been able to gain perspective, and her life has changed in ways that she did not even imagine. So, you know, she's a lot calmer in a lot of situations within her life. She's a much more peaceful and loving mother. So, you know, it doesn't change just your body, but it changes your life and all of the other aspects within your life, okay? So, you know, she doesn't just look amazing. She's now got, you know, this rocking body, but she's just got so much more confidence, and even her relationships have improved. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the 3-step system, okay? So I'm going to show you how you can actually create this strong, fit body without having to be on a diet, or without having to be restricted or train each and every single day, okay? So the first step is rebuilding, okay? So basically what that is optimizing your metabolism, okay? And that's done through good nutrition, and it also is done through education around nutrition, so that you actually have the knowledge to be able to do things for yourself, okay? So you don't always want someone else to be telling you what you need to do, okay? And I think that's what a lot of ladies rely on, is thinking that they have to have someone else telling them what to do, okay? And you don't want to have to jump from one diet plan to another without actually knowing what it's doing to your body or how it actually works, okay? So the second step is reconstructing, and this really involves reconstructing your training and how you actually build a fit, strong body, okay? So we want to reconstruct your body composition, and your focus has to be on getting stronger and on building muscle. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the third step is reconditioning your mindset and how you think and how you actually feel, to be able to cope with the problems as they come up, and know how to consistently overcome these problems and, you know, get better and be able to shift your emotional barriers that do hold you back. And I think as women, we have so many of those emotional barriers that we come up against. So it also encompasses your environment as well, and it requires you to actually lift your standards and also to grow as a person. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll dive a little bit deeper into each of these, okay? So the first pillar that we look at, or the first step, is actually rebuilding, okay? And rebuilding involves mastering the art of optimizing your metabolism, and that happens through proper nutrition that's sustainable, so sustainable nutrition, and actually learning about how to fuel your body, okay? So we've developed these nutrition protocols that are designed not only to be family friendly, but also to boost your metabolism. So that just means that you can also eat the same thing as your family, okay? Because you're not only going to learn about nutrition so that you can tailor it to yourself and to your family, but you're going to do it in a way where you don't have to have this strict plan to follow, or where you're just given, you know, one or two options for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and you can't stray from that, or you have to cut your carbs, or you have to slash your calories, or you have to cut out whole food groups, like things like dairy or sugar, or, you know, or other food groups or other macronutrients, okay? We don't want to have to do that because it is not sustainable long term. So rebuilding and optimizing your metabolism and re-educating yourself around nutrition and the basic principles is so important, because currently, you're probably like me, you know, I did this so often, was I tried all of these different things. I'd done the meal replacement shakes, I'd done the diets like, you know, keto and paleo, and I'd done OptiFast, and, you know, I tried cutting out sugar. I did the whole I quit sugar thing, and I cut my carbs. You know, I got a personal trainer, and I also tried to get them to help me with nutrition. I enrolled in these 12-week challenges that gave me these diet plans. But none of these were actually designed to be able to be sustainable, and sustainable for a mum, let alone be family friendly, okay? So what you're actually doing by doing all of these things is you actually isolate yourself from the family. Like, you're cooking meals for yourself, you know, and usually it's things like, you know, chicken and broccoli and nuts and, you know, all of these things, or shakes. And then you're having to cook other things for your family as well. So what that's also doing is it's not setting a good example for your kids. So you're making this unhealthy and restrictive relationship with food normal to your kids, okay? And when you look at it, like, how long can you actually sustain that, and what is that actually showing your kids? So not only that, like, when you actually do these things, like, you normally feel really lethargic as well, because you're not actually fueling your body, you're actually depriving it, okay? You're going to have no energy because your body just isn't getting what it needs from your food. So normally what happens is you become moody, you become irritable, and you hate your life even more, because it's just, to be honest, it's not fun, okay? So, and again, I know this because I've done it. Like, I'm not saying that this is wrong. I'm just saying that, it's wrong that you're doing it. I'm saying that we've all tried it. You know, we've all been looking for that quick fix to some degree. So when you think about it too, like, imagine if your kids struggled with their weight and with their self-esteem and with their relationship with food, because of what your relationship with food looks like. And that cycle is just going to continue. So this has to stop now. It has to stop somewhere, and you have to go, how can I instill healthy, non-restrictive habits into their lives and into their everyday routine as well? And the thing is, like, you've been looking for these quick fixes, and you've been looking for the one magic diet or the fat burning food or that plan. but it doesn't actually exist. And if it did exist, then we'd all be doing it and we'd all be where we wanted to be. Okay, but it's not the case. There's no magic pill, there's no quick fix. It really comes down to education and sustainability. So in order to create, you know, this fit, strong body that you're wanting to have, and have it so that you can sustain it easily, you have to understand that the first step is going to be an ongoing process to a healthy lifestyle change for good, okay? And that means basically stripping back everything that you've known and building your foundations again from the ground up, okay? So looking at, you know, from the ground up, how can we build those foundations physically? Like day by day, you know, we're improving your habits around food, eating better, getting stronger, like building lean muscle, repairing the damage that's been done to your metabolism by doing all of these quick fixes. And what this does is it allows your body to actually start functioning properly again, because at the moment it's not, okay? So this is what you need to do to take the first steps to create a strong, fit body that actually looks amazing. But again, like, you have to understand that, you know, because you've been searching for this quick fix, you're thinking short term, okay? But again, like, it's not going to happen in 12 weeks, and the weight's not just going to come off and you're going to magically fix all of this damage in the short term, okay? So you have to actually look at rebuilding your foundations, and that's where it starts, okay? And like I said before, all of these things you've tried haven't been sustainable for mums, and that's why we've created this pathway that fits into the lifestyle of a mother, okay? So we know that you still want to eat amazing food. We know that you don't want to feel restricted and like, you know, you have to go off plan because you've been depriving yourself. And you also want to model good behaviors to your children as well. So basically, you know, in this step, you have to learn and you have to understand nutrition at its core, okay? And you have to know how to basically increase your resting metabolic rate, okay? Because until you do that, you're always going to have to eat less and exercise more, okay? And that is what you've been doing, and it's just a recipe for burnout, and it's also a recipe for a lot of frustration, okay? So you need to learn about nutrition, about calories, about your macros, so protein, carbs, and fats, and also how to create and structure your own meal plans based around what it is that you actually enjoy. Because once you do this, like, you'll see in essence that, you know, why all of the diets haven't worked, and, you know, why you've failed long term, because what you're actually doing is you're down regulating your metabolism, and you're actually making it harder for yourself to see results each time you do these things, okay? Each time you start something new, you're actually doing more damage to your body, okay? And also, more importantly, you'll actually learn how to incorporate your nutrition within your family as well, okay? So it's about seeing yourself as not on a diet, but eating in a way that actually fits with your family and with your lifestyle, yet still can get you those long-term results, okay? So it's really, this first step is about rebuilding and re-educating yourself and actually learning deep down at its core what nutrition is actually all about. So if you have a look here, we've worked with Mel, and she was like a lot of the other women that come into the program. So she tried the Weight Watchers, the Soup Diet, she'd done Maxine's challenge, and she'd always been chasing the short term, okay? But until she actually focused on the foundation and rebuilding that, she wasn't actually able to make a change. So she's a really great example of someone who didn't have a clear pathway to follow and was just jumping from one thing to another without actually having that true knowledge behind her. You know, she'd always go looking for those treats, and she'd feel guilty when she did because she felt so restricted. And she was actually one of those ladies who probably was like skinny fat. You know, she had a flabby body, and she just couldn't find herself toned. She couldn't get toned in her body, and she couldn't wear the clothes that she once did before. So after implementing, you know, the first step and rebuilding her nutrition and rebuilding her metabolism and her ideas around what actually healthy is, she's now able to wear the clothes that she once did, fit into the clothes, and she's able to maintain this body that she loves in a way that's a lot easier than all the things that she was doing before. So our second step, we'll move on, is in our system is our reconstruction, okay? And reconstruction involves changing the idea, and this is a big one, and I know this was a big one for me to get my head around, changing the idea that you have to actually do cardio to lose body fat, okay? This just isn't the case. So what happens when you do lots of cardio, it actually burns off muscle. So any muscle that you do have, when you're doing cardio, this actually slows down your resting metabolic rate, okay? So if you want a strong, fit-looking body, you have to build muscle to get strong, okay? And you can't do this through cardio. You actually have to do this through weight training, okay? So what I see, and I'm a PT in the gym, so what I often see a lot of women doing in the gym when they want to make changes to their body is they do a lot of cardio. And this is something that I used to do as well. You know, I do running, I do lots of boot camps, I would do HIIT sessions, I would do hill sprints, I'd spend hours, you know, on the treadmill and the elliptical and doing circuit training, and my body shape never actually changed, okay? And this is because even though you're burning calories, you're also burning through any precious muscle that you've actually got, okay? And because more often than not, your nutrition isn't optimal as well, you're eating these really low calories and you're not getting the right amount of macros or protein, carbs, and fats that your body needs. So this type of training, all of this cardio, it's not actually building muscle. So in effect, what you need to do is you need to keep doing more and more of these cardio-based workouts to see results, okay? And I do understand why women do this, because it's like you look around and nearly everything that we see, whether it's a 12-week challenge or whether it's a program on TV like The Biggest Loser, everyone is spruiking cardio, okay? And you have to push yourself to the absolute limit and flog yourself to be able to see change, okay? And not only does like having muscle make you look toned and more defined, it actually raises your metabolic rate, and it just makes it a lot easier to maintain your fit, well-defined body, okay? So when you look at it, if you want a fit, strong body and to be able to sustain it easily, you have to get stronger. That's simple as that, okay? So getting stronger, this means that you actually train less than what you would do if you were doing cardio all the time. So getting stronger by doing weight training or resistance training rather than cardio, you're actually going to build more muscle, okay? And this helps to burn fat, as muscle burns fat for fuel, okay? So the more muscle you have, the more fat that you're going to burn. And once I actually discovered this, I was able to go from training about 6 or 7 times per week and sometimes twice a day. Sometimes I do, you know, cardio in the morning and weight training at night, and still see absolutely no change in my body composition, to now I basically train sometimes 3, mostly 3, sometimes 4 if I'm lucky, sometimes only even 2. So between 2 and 4 times per week, and my body shape has just completely changed. It just completely transformed. So, you know, now that doesn't mean that you go into the gym and you just randomly lift weights. You have to have a clear progressive plan to get stronger and make progress and keep applying the right stimulus to allow for muscle growth. Because that's also what I see happening is, you know, if women aren't in the cardio section of the gym and they are in the weights room, 99% of the time, they don't see changes over time, like, you know, 6 or 12 months even, because they aren't using the principle of progressive overload. Like, they're not focusing on getting stronger and doing more proficient lifts, you know, doing things like the big compound movements, like, you know, that uses a lot of muscle groups. So things like squats and deadlifts and bench press and overhead press. What they normally do is, you know, they'll do isolated movements. They'll do things like bicep curls or glute extensions or tricep extensions and things like that, which are okay. But ultimately, if you just do those things, you're not going to build muscle in the way that's most effective, because you're not stimulating those main muscle groups, okay? So I've seen women in the gym lifting weights, you know, doing random things, but not actually change over the course of, you know, 12 months, 18 months, because they don't have a plan set in place to continue to overload the muscle and to continue to grow lean muscles, okay? So this means that, you know, even though they're putting in a lot of effort and they think they're doing the right thing by lifting weights, they're actually not going about it in the right way. So ultimately, to create a fit, strong body and that tone look that you want and that defined look, you have to build muscle, okay? So that's not done through cardio. That's not done through HIIT training. That's not done through circuit classes. It's done through progressively getting stronger with your weight training and focusing on compound movement. So things like your squats, overhead presses, bench presses, deadlifts, and that type of thing. And when you do this, when you actually train in that right way, you can actually eat more food and you can actually train less, because what you're doing is you're building your metabolism to a point where you can actually burn fat at rest. So that is such a powerful shift, and something that took me years and years to learn and get my head around. So I went from spending half of my life in the gym, like that was my second home, to spending, like I said, roughly 3 or 4 hours in the gym every week. And weight training is so empowering, and there's nothing better than feeling strong, than feeling toned, than feeling fit. And it really is addictive. And when you progressively get stronger and you make these improvements and you see, your lifts get better, you see your strength get better, you have this sense of self-motivation, because you're always trying to make these small changes and improve your technique and also to beat your PBs. And that's something that's really exciting. And now, like, I have so much more energy rather than being burnt out all the time. And, I'm able to just create, or was able to create, this fit body and, these toned arms, a toned butt, toned stomach, and in a way that I actually love doing, rather than just killing myself with cardio 6 or 7 times a week, all the time, and spending time away from my family. So the third step in our process is reconditioning. Okay, so basically this represents the commitment that you have and the passion that you have to continually evolve and build and grow and nurture a strong mindset, and also a strong environment around you that's going to constantly challenge you and grow you into this woman and this mother that that you can become. And it's about accepting that real change is actually a long-term process, and being okay with that, and being committed to seeing this as just a way of life. Okay, and this requires lifting your standards. Like, at the moment, you've got this set of standards that you're living by, but you need to raise those standards, and you need to have these habits, and you need to have these rituals and these routines in your day that you don't currently have. So this is so important, and it's really the missing element that I see so many women leave out when they decide that they want to make a change. Because what they normally do, and I know that I did it for such a long time, was I focused on the external. I focused on the eating. I focused on the nutrition and the exercise, but forgot that, you have to take the time to evolve and recondition your mindset, so that you can also not only build external strength, but you can also build internal strength and resilience to go with that outer strength. Okay. So at the moment, you're not taking the time to gain perspective and take control of your thoughts and look at, what you think and how you think and the stories that you currently tell yourself. Okay. So when you go about your day and you haven't actually created that space and you haven't allowed yourself to gain the perspective, when your brain's, filled with all of these negative thoughts about, why you can't make a change and why you've tried all of these things and you failed, or when you doubt yourself, and when you have these fears around what it actually takes to make permanent change, that's carved out your belief system. Okay. And when it comes to doing this phase, and doing, your exercise, or when it comes to doing your nutrition, what will happen is, if you don't have this reconditioning in place, you'll start to tell yourself these stories, and you'll start to come up with reasons why you can't do it. And it's going to happen. It's bound to happen. And you'll tell yourself that you're too busy, or you'll tell yourself that you weren't prepared, or you don't have time to prepare your meals, or you don't have time to fit it in. Maybe your kids are a bit out of control and they're a bit ratty, and, you can't have the perspective around, dealing with them, or dealing with the fact that you're tired. So you have to be able to gain perspective on your goals and your outcomes. And you have to make sure you have this routine and these rituals in place to make sure you can overcome these negative thought patterns and you can overcome your excuses. Okay. So right now you're actually not doing that. And, when you're setting your goals, you might start out and you're really motivated and you might be able to stay motivated for a couple of weeks. But as soon as problems arise, what are you actually going to do to overcome those problems so that you can stay on track? Okay, so the reason that you're not where you want to be is because you keep stopping. Okay, like, yes, you need to have, good sustainable nutrition and good training and good plans in place for that. but you also don't have the motivation and the will to be able to control your perspective so that you can keep working through day by day and keep overcoming all of these stories and all of these obstacles as they come up. Now, in order to do this, what you have to do is you have to shift your mindset, okay? So you have to shift your mindset to thinking like a woman who is strong and who is in control and who is actually capable of living this lifestyle. And when you actually start thinking like this, you know, you're not going to fall for the excuses. So when you think about it, like, does a mum who knows what she wants and knows what she's actually doing eat poorly because she's busy? She, when you think about it, like, she doesn't, because she controls her thinking and she controls her habits, and she knows that she's going to eat good food because that's just who she is as a person. Like, she won't succumb to the excuses because she's working on who she is and her identity rather than just looking at getting to those goals. Okay, so when you think about, you know, does a woman who is strong and in control quit when she has a minor setback? She doesn't, because she knows how to overcome problems. She knows how to be solution focused. She knows how to learn from the problems and how to get better from them and grow from them. And, you know, you have to do exactly the same in your journey, because you're always going to have setbacks, and you just have to know how to navigate through these setbacks. And, you know, if you do that, then you're going to be able to build the identity to be confident and to be completely happy, knowing that these setbacks aren't failures, but they're just ways to grow and ways to gain perspective and to gain growth from them. Okay, so, but you must take on a growth mindset, okay, because every time you do that, like I said, you gain perspective about how it is that you want to grow and how it is that you want to be as a person, and you do not let those setbacks stop you from achieving your goals. And we teach mums inside of our program how to have these routines and how to adopt these rituals, and how to allow themselves to have this structure and operate from a place of power and certainty, and to become a woman who is strong and who is resilient and who is adaptable and actually in control of her inner thoughts and feelings, okay? And you can control your thoughts and your feelings and emotions, but you just have to learn how to do that, okay? So if you're going to keep the motivation and momentum going when it comes to making this change, and not just stop and start and stop and start, you're going to have to recondition your thoughts and your behaviors, okay? So if you want to sustain this lifestyle long term, you have to learn how to overcome all of these negative thoughts and overcome all of these negative self-limiting beliefs and behaviors that arise, okay? And this crucial element is what's missing. And, you know, to be able to create a new set of routines, rituals, and structure and behaviors is what's going to allow you to create this long-term change for good. And just like Renee here, like, she's come into our program, she's been here for over 12 months, and she has, you know, she came in, she was unorganized, she felt like life was weighing her down, she had all of these negative stories, all of these thoughts, all of these beliefs that were holding her back and wasn't allowing her to grow. And, you know, she's come into our program and she's done all of the mindset work, she's done all of the reconditioning, and she saw and realized that that's what was missing, okay? And she's now able to been able to take control of her life. She's just such an inspiring woman, because she's the epitome of someone who has reconditioned her entire way of thinking. And like I said before, if you feel like you're not moving forward, then this is what you absolutely are missing, and is what is the crucial missing link that a lot of programs don't take into account, okay? So you might have that fleeting motivation for a short period of time, only to lose it when things get busy or you get overwhelmed, and that's why you are stuck exactly where you have been stuck for a very, very long time, okay? And like I said, we teach you the rituals and the routines and the structure to have in place so that you can actually make this long-term change. So, as a recap, this 3-step system, okay, to create a strong, fit body and sustain it long-term, okay? This system, like I said, has helped hundreds of mums, not only myself, but hundreds of mums around Australia to to shed all of these old beliefs around what is healthy and what you have to do nutrition wise, what you have to do training wise to be able to see results. Okay, and they've been able to go through this rebuilding phase. They've been able to optimize their nutrition. They've been able to rebuild their metabolism, and then go through the reconstruction phase of, you know, going through weight training, learning how to get stronger, learning how to lift, and having a purpose in the gym that is actually geared towards getting stronger, getting toned, and getting more well defined. And then also going through the reconditioning process of building that mindset and building that inner strength, and also raising your standards to be able to support your growth and to be able to challenge you each and every day. So this is just some of the examples of the ladies that we've helped in the program. There's so many phenomenal stories. Like when Kirsty started out with us, she had tried so many things as well. She'd done all the diets, she'd done all the quick fixes, and probably for her, the biggest thing again was her frame of mind. She had a lot of anxiety around her body image. She had a lot of self-confidence issues, and she wasn't able to see long-term change. She could see results for a short term, but she would always rebound and go back to exactly how she was before. She did a post the other day in our group, and like when you read this, like it just makes me so happy, because this is the epitome of someone who is free. Like she now is able to have a social life. Like she's actually been able to, in the last 8 weeks, she's gone on an overseas trip, she's celebrated birthdays, she's had drinks and cocktails, she's eaten meringues and chocolates and potatoes, and she's managed to actually lose 23 centimeters off her body, and she's been able to still see results while she still has a life. And like, how many times have you actually tried something, and each time you did, you had to like forgo social events, you had to say no to all of the social outings, you had to, you know, say no to the barbecues and the eating outs and the dinners and things like that. And the thought of like going away on holidays or being away from home actually stresses you out, because you don't know what to do and you're afraid that you're going to fall off the wagon. And you don't have to be like that. Like, it's, you ladies, like it doesn't have to be that hard, and it doesn't have to be that stressful. Like, you can truly be free and still have a lifestyle and have a sustainable lifestyle, but still see results. Like 23 centimeters lost while doing all of those things is just phenomenal. And then there's Alyssa. Like, she started out with us about 6 months ago, I think, and really unhappy with her body after she had her son. She'd been wanting to get her body back, but just wasn't able to sustain something long term again. And now, going through our process, like, she has just been able to build the most rocking body. Like, look at how amazing she looks in this little green number. She's more confident, her skin is better, and she's just such a happier and more confident person. Like, she's happy within her relationship. She's a more calm and patient mother, because she actually not only has reconditioned her mind, but she's not stressing all the time about food and stressing about exercise and worried about, you know, all of these things that she has to do. So she's been able to drop it back a notch and just chill just with life and live in this way that's been able to be sustainable. And then there's Susie, another one of our long-term clients, who she's an amazing mum, and she completely changed her body. Like, she basically said she never ever thought that she would get her body back again. Like, she said she looks better now than what she did, you know, before she had kids, when she was younger, you know, in her 20s, early 20s. So, and for her, it's not just, you know, her physical changes, but she said she's not just feeling like just a mum anymore. Like, she actually is someone who puts her needs first. She can prioritize herself, and she's so much happier with who she is as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, as a friend, as a partner. So it's really, really exciting to think of, you know, where you could get to. And, you know, for you, you know, now that I've shown you how to do it and how to put this 3-step system into place, and, you know, I've shown you that it works for myself and it's worked for hundreds of other mums, what normally will happen is, you know, a lot of other mums, you know, they want to be saved. They want that quick fix, or they want that shiny object. So have a think about, like, where could you actually be in 12 months? Like, what are you actually going to do? Is this actually just going to be another video that you watch and you don't take action on? Or are you actually going to be another success? Like, you literally could be another one of these success stories of mine. Like, you could be a woman and a mother like Mel, like Beck, like Renee, like Kirsty, like Alyssa and Susie, and the hundreds of other mums who've been able to break free from all of the strict dieting and all of the overtraining and all of the beliefs and stories that were holding them back from creating this fit, strong body that they always wanted and sustaining it while still having a life, okay? Or are you going to let this chance pass you by because you're not willing to take action? Because remember at the start, like we made an agreement that if you watch this whole presentation to the end and I showed you this 3-step system on how to get stronger, how to get fitter, and how to create this toned body without the strict dieting or training every day, then you would take action, okay? So I am so passionate about this because I know that if you actually do take action and nail these 3 steps, you can truly be free and you'll feel so much stronger internally as well, not just within your body. And I know that you can start living life again, like, you know, without hiding away, without obsessing about food, without trying to fit in hours of training, without saying no to social events, without giving up, you know, good times with your family, okay? And not only that, you're going to be able to become a more patient mother, a more patient and calm parent, because your mental space isn't actually taking up with feeling confused and feeling frustrated about what it is that you need to do, okay? And when you look at it, like, you could keep going with what you've always done, and that's usually restricting yourself and depriving yourself and doing hours of useless exercise and cardio without any clear progression or without any goal of actually getting stronger. Or you could have the guidance and you could have the proven path to get you there quicker with less effort, okay? And you know, you could choose to go it alone, and that's fine. But what normally happens is you stop and you go backwards and you don't see results because you don't feel motivated. Or you could have the support, you could have the accountability and certainty from a coach and our community, and you know, you can have that course correction when you do go off path that allows you to keep that certainty and to keep going even when times are tough and when the doubts creep in, okay? So each month we do take on new women in our program, and our program is by application only, and that's because we only want to work with women, you know, that we want to ensure that you're a good fit, and we want to work with women who are truly invested in learning and committing to their growth and success, okay? And this is how we actually select the ladies that we think are truly ready to make a change for good, because like anything new, like, it does take commitment and it does take work from your end. But when you think about it, like, you know, you can keep going and doing those things that you've always done and stay stuck, or you can be willing to commit and willing to learn new things and to finally educate yourself and break free from the cycle of quick fixes and the short-term solutions for good, okay? So here's the link, and what I want you to do is, if you are ready and you do want to apply, you can actually book in a call, and it's absolutely free. Like, it's not going to cost you anything, but you can book in a consult with me, okay? There's no obligation to join at all, okay? So what we're going to do is, on this call, we're going to get to know each other, because like, I don't know who you are and I don't know what you're struggling with or what you've tried before, so I don't know where it is that you need help. But what I want to do is to be able to customize these 3 steps for you, okay, over the phone for free, so that you can actually start taking the steps towards, you know, getting fitter, getting stronger, being a better mother, being a better partner, and creating that strong mindset. And even if you don't join, you're going to get some great tips and you're going to get some great learnings that you can actually take away and that you can start to implement straight away as well. So I want you to take action immediately. Click on that link below, type it in your browser, and then what will happen is you will actually see a page like this, and there will be an application, okay? So you can go through that, book a time that suits you to talk to me, and like, there are limited spots, so you know, there are, you know, lots of you but only one of me, so unfortunately sometimes I don't have a lot of time available. So if for some reason that you do want to make a change and you are serious about it, but the time doesn't suit you, send me a message, okay? And I can try and fit that in around you at a time that does suit you better. But I want you to grab this opportunity, and I want you to take action immediately, so that you can actually go through and take action on these steps and tailor these 3 steps to you and your lifestyle, okay? So here is your chance, okay? So if you are ready and you are an action taker, I want you to take this opportunity and I want you to run with it, because I know that it's going to free you. It is going to change your life, and it's a 30-minute call, okay? And when you think about it, like, if 30 minutes of your time worth the results, like, absolutely yes, okay? So book your call, go to that link below, and it really is, like, there is no time better than now to make a change, okay? So for those of you that have stayed to the very end, I did promise you that I would send you through the training notes so that you can go back over them. And I'm also going to send you through a special bonus as well. So if you'd like those emailed to you, just go ahead and send me an email there, admin@edwinapettiford.com, and I'll go ahead and forward those resources across to you. But please, if you are serious about making this change and freeing yourself for good, go ahead, book your call. I look forward to chatting for you. And if anything else, please go away and implement this information that I've shown you, because it will change your life, it will change your perspective, and it is going to help you to build that fit, strong body that you have always wanted. Have a great day. I'll speak to you very soon.